I'm making a video recording step by step how I manage my Kubernetes cluster for my home lab. So today I'm gonna use Kind. Kind is a tool for running local Kubernetes cluster. So Kind is Kubernetes Kubernetes in Docker. So the goal today will be I want to set up and configure a Kubernetes cluster. Then I also want to deploy an application which is my personal website, something like this. To start with, I will need a VM to play with. I'll create a VM first. So I'm creating a VM named a beginner with 4 CPU, 8 gigabytes of memory, 16 gigabytes of disks. The VM has been created. I'll connect to it. Multipass. By the way, I'm using multipass for my virtual machines. I do have a separate video for how do I use multipass. Let's connect to this one. So you can see this is a new Ubuntu. To use Kind, we'll need Docker for Kind. We also need Kubernetes control for Kubernetes clusters management. We also need Helm to install Helm chart. Let's install Docker first. Docker installed. Let's go with Kubernetes control. Next, it will be Helm. Installing Helm. Ubuntu. Now we can move on to Kind. To install Kind, we download the binary, then install it. We do need a sudo to install it. Kind install, we can check that's the version we are running on. We can just start this Kubernetes cluster with a command create cluster. I believe this is a permission issue. I'll add this user, the current user I'm running on, into the Docker group. This is gonna take a few minutes. I'll pause the video until the installation finished. Now we have our cluster ready. So what we did with multipass. We created a new VM, and with kind we started a Kubernetes cluster. That's we can check what's in there. So we do have one node now. We've already have a few namespaces. These are the deployments. Since the cluster is ready and wrap up and running, we can move on to the second task, which is to deploy the application. So for the application, I do have, which is this website. I do have a Helm chart ready. I'll copy the Helm chart, copy it over. And I also want to copy a certificate file and key file. Let's install the application first. Chart. Application install. Let's see. Let's have a check. We have a pod, deployment, and service. Next, we also want to have a ingress. I'm gonna use Nginx for we add a repo for ingress Nginx. Do update and install ingress. We have the ingress ready. There should be a new namespace, which is ingress Nginx. We can see that this ingress has been deployed, but if you check this line here, you can see the service is not ready because there's no external IP. That's why it is pending. So to have since this is not on cloud, which we can see it is a bare metal machine. In this case, we're gonna need another thing to have a external IP. Here we're gonna use metal LB, which is for bare metal machine, the load balancer for bare metal machine. We're gonna install this with Helm chart. So to make this metal load balancer work, we need to define a IP IP address pool to allocate IP addresses, which also I've already have this file. I'm gonna copy this file over. Wrong name. This is the file. So in this file, we'll need this IP address pool. But the thing is, since kind is Docker is Kubernetes in Docker, we want to use this Docker IP range. After installation of this metal load balancer, I have to make sure that it is up and running, which is ready. Yes, it is ready now. Condition met. Once it's ready, we can apply the IP address pool resources. Now, if we check the ingress service again, you can see now we have we have the external IP. The application or service should be ready. We can have a check to see if we can access it. I'll give it the host name here instead of since I'm gonna use the IP address to access the service. I'll put the host name in header, but I want to access the HTTP service from this IP address. 200 OK, which means the application has been deployed successfully. Anyway, this is how I manage my home lab via kind for this Kubernetes cluster.